What's going on YouTube? Modeling that back at you with another build update on the F-14 Tomcat. Got quite a bit done here. To be honest, just over Friday, yesterday, and today. So just kind of going through what was completed. So got obviously the front end on, got the vertical tails in. For some odd reason for mine, they wanted to lean out really badly. They were wanting to lean like this far out, like really far out, um, on both sides. So looking at reference shots, I don't think that's the way the Tomcats were. So double checked with the slots that the tail fins fit into. There's only one way you can put them, so I'm not sure what was going on there. But after a little bit of work, was able to successfully get it into place. After that, went through, just kind of finished up all of the build parts that I can. Got like the lower cover panel on for the front end of the Sidewinder rail where it would attach. Looking at the reference for this specific aircraft, just had the two pod items here on the front, so got those put in. Obviously got the ordnance racks for the side. Then went through and started the painting. So to start off with, I wanted to obviously get the blacks down. So for the drop tanks, went with, didn't have any X1, so went with X18 semi-gloss, which came out really nice. Wasn't this shiny, I'll explain that in a moment. But went through, got that laid down as an initial coat, and then it was shiny enough to where I could put the decals on. So I got the Season's Greetings on both sides. Had a little bit of problems with this side where it wanted to crinkle up on me a little bit and roll up on itself, especially when I was using the Mr. Mark softener. So I'm going to definitely have to watch that on some of the later decals. Had to touch in just a little bit of the S there on Season's Greetings, but to be honest, I don't think if I had told you, you would have ever noticed it. Other side went down without issue, so I'm not sure. It might have just been first time using these decals, just trying to get them on. Um, yeah, so overall, the drop tanks, to be honest, were a poor fit with the holes. Couldn't get it to go flush up against it, so I went ahead and cut the pegs off and glued it directly to the aircraft, about in the right spot. It may be a little bit forward or aft of where it would actually be, but it's close enough for rock and rolling for me. So then went through, completed up the painting of the rear tail fins, the front or the lower fins here, and then all around the cockpit in Mr. Color 125, which is cowling black, or a cowling color. This was specifically for the Japanese aircraft, like Mitsubishi Zeros are a great example of where they had the black cowling. But again, I don't like using pure black unless there's a specific reason for it. And so with the drop tanks, there was a reason. They were black. However, looking at Tomcats, they always kind of had a grayish hue. From every photo that I've ever seen of a Tomcat, it always had more of a grayish, whitish hue, which this has by default. If you look at the bottom, it has gray sediment at the bottom and really has that nice kind of weathered back black look. To be honest, the camera picks it up as more of just black, but it is kind of a bluish, blackish, grayish kind of hue to the natural eye, which is exactly what I wanted it to be. Then went through, got the masking all done here for the canopy section. Again, sticking with the instruction sheet, so lining it up to create this teardrop effect. That took a long time to get down and get what I felt was right. Took multiple attempts, I think about 4 or 5 attempts. So if you're doing this and masking it yourself, take your time, don't rush it, and should come out pretty good. So at this point, what I did then, after I got the decal on, I went ahead and used a little bit of X22 with some just standard Tamiya thinners to spray down, get a nice glossy effect on these. Again, looking at the looking at the reference photos, these were pretty much glossed black tanks, is what it looked like they were. So wanted to replicate that. So at this point, giving this a day or so to dry, and then I'll mask this up. That point can start laying down the underside color. For that, I'm going to have to kind of go with a mixture of MRP 105. Let me flip the thing off there for the autofocus, but MRP 105, which is going to be for the 35. Yeah, there we go. 35 237. I believe that is the bottom side. If I can grab my nice little color code here. Yeah, 35 237. That is the top color. Will be this one, and then the bottom side will be 36320 for the bottom. So dark ghost gray for that. So also got the wings all together as you guys had seen in the last one, but just went ahead and laid them out here. So coming along really nicely. Gonna go ahead and leave a lot of the lumps and bumps off from the front, just because of the fact that they're going to be painted a different color entirely. Got the exhausts pretty much finished up, so we got this in here. Went with a little bit of a different effect this time, and not sure if I like it or hate it. Still gonna do a wash later on to the inside with the light Flory wash, just because I like that. But to be honest, I like the open nozzles. They were a pain in the butt to put together, just because, again, there's 7 pieces that go around, and trying to keep them in line, keep them locked together without creating gaps, it's near to impossible. So I think I got a couple of Tomcats that I want to do that are F-14Ds. Thinking I might inevitably get some KA models. They make a really nice resin exhaust system for the Tomcat, so may supplement those out in the future. Not 100% sure yet. But the colors on that, Tester's Model Master, which again, I know this is going in the way of the Dodo. But the jet exhaust, this is a really nice base color. I like it a lot. Really gives a good goldish hue to it. And then I can get it to lock in. Their lovely metallizer, the burnt metal, that was dry brushed after I had overcoated the jet exhaust with a little bit of hot metal violet. So from here, and then dry brush, like I said, with the burnt metal, which kind of gives it a good hue depending on where you're looking, what angle you're catching it in the light. You catch a little bit of the gold, a little bit of purple, a little bit of the burnt metal. So to me, looks pretty good. Needed to get that down because these aft pots, looking again at the reference, are all of the main fuselage color, so we'll get those masked off before getting those sprayed in. So overall, coming together pretty good. Should be able to get a lot of color down. Oh, before I forget, the last thing, this is actually unmasked, so this is that cowling color laid down. One thing I have found with this Mr. Color stuff, at least for me, I have to spray it at a lot higher PSI than I'm used to spraying stuff. Usually I spray stuff about 20-25 PSI. I have to spray this stuff closer to 50 just to get it through my airbrushes, but it seems like as soon as I crank that air pressure up, she sprays beautifully and gets good results. So again, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'm actually been enjoying this build quite a bit here, so again, hope you guys are enjoying it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Talk to you later.